Hi, and welcome to my example problem for the UNM Peer Learning Facilitator video project. Today I will be solving a problem of dimensional analysis. So, our question today is as follows. To qualify to run in the 2015 Boston Marathon, a distance of 26.2 miles, an 18-year-old woman had to have completed another marathon in 3 hours and 34 minutes or less. To qualify, what must this woman's average speed have been in miles per hour and in meters per second? First, we're going to identify our givens and our desired units for the end of this. So the units they gave us were a distance that the woman must run, 26.2 miles, and the time length in which she must do this run, 3 hours and 34 minutes. Then the units we want to have at the end of this are meters per second and miles per hour. Now first, there's a somewhat interesting issue with this problem. Our time here is given to us in 3 hours and 34 minutes, which is in two separate units. So we can't do our dimensional analysis with it like that. We are going to today convert the 34 minutes into hours and then add in order to use this number for the rest of our calculations. So 34 minutes times 1 hour over 60 minutes, which is a ratio that you can find either in your textbook or by Googling it. Usually on a test, your professor will just expect that you know this. Then let's see here. And then we multiply in our calculators to get 0.57 hours. Then we need to add the 3 hours to the 0.57 hours to get our final number we will use for calculations for the remainder of this problem, which is 3.57 hours. Now moving on to the actual dimensional analysis portion. So first we're going to solve for miles per hour, since our givens are already in miles and hours. So 26.2 miles, that's from our givens that were back on slide number 3. And then we have 3.57 hours, which we just tabulated on the previous slide, and that's going to equal X miles per hour. Now, on our next slide, we'll go ahead and calculate that. So just go ahead and put 26.2 over 3.57 into your calculator, and the answer you should get is 7.34 miles per hour. Of course, the units won't be in your calculator, so just make sure you write them on the paper so that you can have them when you get that raw number from your calculator. Okay, and then we're going to do step 2, but for the other units, which for this problem are meters per second. So we have this same conversion this same ratio here that we used in our previous 2 slides. And then if you want, you can pause the video now to go ahead and solve this out on your own. I've got the conversion ratio right up here, 1.609 kilometers to 1 mile. That can be found in your textbook by Googling it and will usually be provided on a test. So, here we go. We have 26.2 miles in over 3.57 hours, and then 1 hour over 3,600 seconds. I personally memorized that number, but you can also find it by just putting in the 2 ratios of 1 hour to 60 minutes and 1 minute to 60 seconds. That'll still work out to the same amount. And then I put in 1.609 kilometers to 1 mile, that ratio that you get up here. And finally, you're going to put in kilometers to meters, which from this kilo right here you can tell is 1,000 meters to 1 kilometer. That's another conversion factor that will not be given on your tests in most cases. And then we've got X meters per second. And now we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide and put that in our calculators. So here we are. We've got 26.2 miles, 33.57 hours, and then we move on through the rest of that analysis that we figured out on the previous slide, and then we have x meters per second from the previous slide. Now go ahead and put that in your calculator. 26.2 miles times 1.609 kilometers times 1,000 meters over 3.57 hours times 3,600 seconds. The hours times seconds you're going to need to put in parentheses on most calculators to ensure that it doesn't accidentally multiply everything you've done so far by the 3,600 seconds. And then here we go, that unit of 3.28 meters per second right there. That answer of 3.28 meters per second right there. Let's go ahead and see here. That was the end of our presentation. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have good luck on whatever test or homework assignment it is that you're studying for right now. Thank you so much and have a great day.